Swole Benji here. Today I'm going to teach you how to fish. What is fishing? It's one of the gathering professions in Albion Online, so let's get right into it. To fish, you're going to need a fishing rod. Now, let me talk a little bit about fishing real quick. As a brand new player, fishing is the most profitable profession that you can start with. However, once you tier up and level it up and fame it up, and you get to tier 8 and you max out the spec for fishing, it becomes the least profitable profession. It is also the most botted profession, but they have done some things to dissuade fishing bots. However, there's still a lot of fish bots. It's also the most tedious of all the professions because every single time you fish, you have to do a mini game, which makes it harder to concentrate on other things around you, and you have to spend more attention onto the game, you have to do more clicks, but at the same time, you're just congregated usually into 1 to 2 areas of the map to fish on, and not spread out throughout the entire map, so there's that at least. So let me talk about the gear first. We always talk about the gear. Now, in both save zones and danger zones, you want to use a bloodletter with the middle Q, the second Q ability, the dash, and the E. Now, the reason for this is in a safe zone, you're going to be competing with other fishermen. And the faster that you can zip across the fishing area and get to another fishing spot and fish up those precious fish before someone else, the better off you are. And in a danger zone, you want to use these abilities to escape. And with a mist collar in your offhand, you will have less cooldown so that you can use these escape abilities more often to get away from gankers. Alright, so for your helmet, you want to use block, okay? If you're escaping gankers and you use rotten fish, this hits them and puts you in combat, meaning you can't zone out. So you never want to hit someone that's ganking you if all you're trying to do is escape, okay? For your armor, you want to use water shield. This is what you'll be using to fish faster, and it makes you tanky. You can also use ambush. Don't use wind wall, that'll put you in combat. For the boots, you want to use Wanderlust, both for safe zones and danger zones. The Splash Wave, which if you've seen my Bedrock arena video, this thing is hilarious. It knocks people around, but it puts you in combat, so you don't want to use it. You could use this as another dash in safe zones. I use Wanderlust because sometimes you have to run around the whole area, and it's faster to run than to mount up sometimes. I've got a bag. I've got a fisherman's backpack to carry more fish, because when you fish, you're gonna be fishing for a while, man. Now for food, you're not going to be using a pork pie, you're actually going to be using a seaweed salad, which will increase your fishing speed. Also, instead of a potion, you have fish bait, and what that does is it will increase the bite speed of fish. So when you first start out, when you fish, it sometimes takes a while for the fish to bite your lure, but if you use one of these bad boys, they will bite right away, and it's very important in higher tier zones that you use fishing bait, because if another fisherman is trying to steal your catch, you absolutely want to have the fish bite your line before it bites theirs, okay? So, how do you fish? Well, you have the fishing rod in your inventory, and you'll notice my mouse cursor here on the screen. Whenever I mouse it over the water, it becomes this different icon. See? Here's the normal icon, and here's the fishing icon. So, when I right-click the water, nothing happens, but when I left-click and hold, you will see this happen, and that is how far you cast. It does not cast where you click. Like, if I just barely tap it like that, it's going to throw it right down in front. Now, if I hold it, and, it's going to cast it further away. So what you want to do is you want your lure to land in these little fishing pools. Now, it doesn't have to. I can fish right here, and sometimes I'll get a fish, sometimes I'll get a log, a rock, seaweed. However, if I land it in one of these pools, they all do something different. See these this single red fish here in this pool where my cursor is? That means it's higher chance to be a fish of the same tier of the zone. I'm in a tier 5 zone, in a yellow zone right now. These red fish means it's a higher chance to be a tier 5 fish or a higher chance to be a specialty fish. Now, I'm in the Bridge Watch area. As you can see here, the Bridge Watch zone, and the specialty fish for this zone is crab. If I fish over here in the forest areas, their specialty is something else, and so on and so forth. Now, there is... you'll notice, like, each map has a water spot. Like, here's the water spot on this map. Now, if I go... I was a little fast. See this, the water on here? You can see the water on the map. It's colored. Now, let's go to another map. Let's just click this one. Here's the fishing hole for this one. You'll see these little tiny spots around. These are puddles. You can't fish in them. See how this is like a brighter blue? I think that's blue. I'm a little bit colorblind. But you can see that this is where you would fish in this zone. Now, if you go like here, actually, no, let's go to you would. You'll notice that the entire outer wall of the zone is also water. So you can fish at all of these spots. Pretty cool, huh? But they also have a big watering pond here at the top and a tiny one down here. So some zones are better for fishermen than others. But there's also one more thing to teach you guys. Now, in the black zone, there are areas that border the ocean. And check this out. You see how the color of the water here is different? This is because this is an ocean zone. When you fish in the ocean, you can get special saltwater fish that are the best fish in the game. You can get sharks and octopus. And those are the best fish in the game that you can get. You can turn the sharks into trophies. You can do all sorts of things with them. So if you want the most bang for your buck, you got to go to these dangerous zones and fish. All right, so check it out. You got the redfish. Now, these little blue ones over here, there's a bunch of them. This is a higher chance for one tier lower, but not always. Sometimes you will catch tier 5s in a tier 5 zone. Sometimes you'll get the rare fish too. It really depends. But most likely these will be tier 4 fish. Now, also there's one other thing to look out for, and that's the golden chest. This could be anything. So let's try to get it. And my lure is mostly in the pool. So here's how the lure works, okay? When I left click, the bobber goes to the right. Oh shit, I fucked up. Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to try to get it in the middle there. There we go. And when it bobs, you left click and hold. And so I'm reeling it in. Now, if I reel too hard and my bobber, that's the top bar, goes all the way to the right in that red zone, it will break the line, okay? So I got to let go. But if it goes all the way to the left, it also breaks. So you have to kind of keep it in the middle. Okay, so I just got 4 treasures worth 5,000 each. So that was 18,000. Now, because I'm maximum spec with tier 8 gear, that's why I got 4 of them. I also forgot to eat and use the lure, but when you start out, you would only get 1, okay? So let's eat, and let's use our lure. Now watch how fast the fish bite. Boom, it's instant. All right, so let's go. So fish will struggle. I keep clicking off. I'm sorry, guys. That eats up one of my baits, by the way. So it's a little random. Like, when you're left-clicking, don't go over here and left-click, because that'll... Oh, see? It went too far to the left, so I failed. It also eats up your bait, because you only get 10 baits. Alright, so when you're fishing, don't move your mouse onto the land, because you will walk away. You don't want to do that. Alright, so keep your mouse in the water. I'm left-clicking, I'm letting go. Now, sometimes the fish will struggle against your line, but because I'm max spec, they're not really struggling. So sometimes it's a little hard to reel them in, right? So that was 4 tier 3 fish, and that's about 1,000. So that sucked. Right, it's all RNG, but we'll see. Let's fish this guy up. So the best way to do it is when your bobber starts getting really fast to the right, let go. Let it wind down a bit, and then left click and hold it in. You'll get the hang of it just by playing. You just gotta play. So I got 3 seaweeds, which was worth 4,000, and I got 4 fish worth 2,000. All right, let's go for this pack. And you can fish multiple fish out of here. So like you can do like rapid left clicks and let go. You can let it wind down and then do one long hold. It's however you want to fish, man. And you'll notice one of the fish disappeared when I caught him, right? So this is as fast as fishing gets. When you start out, it's a lot slower. The fish struggle a lot more against your line. Oh look, I got 3 crabs. The low river crab, that was 3,000. Now, I'm just in a tier 5 zone, and fish, honestly, they're not worth that much. Now, the benefit of fishing over other gathering is, like, say if you're a lumberjack, you have to run all over the forest and chop trees. As a fisherman, you just stand in one little spot here, and that's your gathering. Like you're just in one spot. You don't really have to do a lot of moving around. Now, do note that there are people that like to check the fishing holes for bots. I'm one of them. I will flag up in PvP. Ooh, I got 3 more crabs. I will flag up in PvP, and I will go to the fishing holes, and I will bully people and see how they move and how they respond. If they immediately mount up or run away or start talking, then I leave them alone, generally. Sometimes I just have a bad day and I want to fuck with them anyway. But there's a lot of bots. Okay, I missed that one. Let's try it. Oh, too far. There we go. But other times, no. They are bots, and I'll just down them or I'll knock them into mobs and all their gear will be broken. So as you can see, that's fishing. Now another thing to note about fishing compared to other trade skills, okay, if you're one of those min-maxers, you gotta max every trade skill, well, I have some good news for you. Alright, so for fishing, you can level up fishing without ever actually fishing. And how do you do that? Every time you eat a fish in this game, every time you consume a fish, you gain experience for fishing. I don't know how that works or why that works. That's just how they coded the game. So if you want and you have a lot of money, you can just buy thousands and thousands of fish, eat them all, and you'll be tier 8. Is it worth it? Not really. So why would you fish in this game? What is the whole point? What kind of trade skill is this? Like, if you're a skinner, you get leather, which makes armor, right? And if you're a miner, you get metal to make weapons, right? So what does fishing do? Well, if you're a fisherman, you turn the fish into fishing oil, fish oil, and that is an additive used in cooking so that you can cook better, stronger, higher tier dishes, enchanted dishes, if you would. Oh look, I got a crab from the blue circle. Pretty cool. So, if you want to be a master chef in this game, and one thing about cooking is it utilizes your farm plots, right? So if you want to be a master chef, and they make good, like, chefs make amazing money in this game. Everyone eats food in this game. The building plots, the island buildings all use food. Everyone needs food in this game, okay? So what you do is you take the fish and you take the seaweed and you chop up the fish at a butcher and you get fish bits and you take the seaweed and then you like combine them or something and it makes fish oil, I think. And then the fish oil is combined with cooking ingredients to make enchanted food. And it's a huge market, okay guys? My only gripe with fishing is that if you're tier 8 in any other trade skill, you make more money. Like if I'm a tier 8 lumberjack, which in the actual game, not the test server, I am a tier 8 lumberjack, I can just ride around a zone and chop trees and make way more money way quicker, okay? So that's fishing, that's how to fish, that's how fishing works. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And, oh, you know what, this whole video I forgot to use my armor ability, because when you use the water shield, you will fish faster. So let's do that just one time. Let's just have one little example there. And just to show, it's not that much faster. I've got the seaweed salad buff for the speed. So we activated our armor. And see how fast we grab this fish. This is at maximum spec with every possible buff we can have. It's still slow, it's still tedious. Like, what do we get there? We got 4 crabs. How much is that worth? For all that effort, we made 4,000 silver. That just doesn't seem worth it. Like, and you can eat what you catch. You don't have to cook them, you don't have to chop them up, but they all do something different. Like, the blue scale pike. Boom, health regeneration. It's like a cheaper version of the cabbage soup. So, if you're a newbie, you give fishing a try. If you like it, go for it. If you don't like it, like me, I hate fishing. I personally don't like fishing at all. Then don't bother, man. Do what you find is fun, and do what you find you can do for long periods of time. Anyway, I'm Swole Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole, and I'll see you in the next one.